Hey there, I'm Britta, and today we're going to be talking to Lucas about his favorite idol, how he found her, and why he supports her. So, thanks for being on the show, Lucas.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you about idols and stuff.
Okay, so could you just introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, sure. Well, my name's Lucas, and I'm currently here in Nagoya, Japan I've been here for about 6 months, and I have about 7 months left, I guess. So yeah, I'm an exchange student here in Nagoya, and I came here for nothing related to studies, but everything related to idols. So, yep, let's see, I've been to Japan in the past for idol stuff, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
So, on that note, who is your Oshimen?
My Oshimen is Takeshita Sana from Hachimitsu or Hachipeta or Honey Emperor.
So many names.
Yeah.
Or Hachimitsu Emperor.
It always varies with who I'm talking to too. So fun stuff.
Okay, so I think probably a lot of people don't know very much about Hachipera. So can you describe the group a little bit?
Alright, so the group is originally based in Gifu. They do mostly lives here in Nagoya, and they go to Gifu about twice a month, I suppose. They perform at Gifu Ants, and they also do about once a month they go to Tokyo, and then probably about twice a month for Osaka. So they're fairly they don't stay here in Nagoya and everything. As far as their image that they have, it's they have this whole theme of bees. So all of their older costumes looked a little bit more bee-ish, if that's even a word, bee-ish. Their current ones still have bee-ish motifs to it.
They're yellow and black.
What was that?
They're yellow and black.
Yeah. So their image is, as of recently, it's been more of they refer to themselves as, the Meruhen, rock idols, and Meruhen meaning fairy tale, a fairy tale type rock group. It's interesting stuff. Regardless, they have their costumes resemble bees. So they have their current costumes. They still have the whole yellow and black scheme to it, and but before the whole change of members happened, they had these costumes that looked straight up like bees. So they had the whole furry chest area was a furry yellow and black stripe, so it looked like a furry honeybee and stuff like that. It's really, really cute. I really miss those costumes. Anyways,
they are really cute.
Yeah.
Did they actually have a stinger at the back too? I don't remember.
They did. They had a very cute stinger at the back, and it was it's such a good costume.
So can you tell us a little bit about Sana?
So Sana is, let's see here. So she has her number one, her idol point. You know how idols have the little point and everything.
Yeah.
Is her nemu nemu voice, which is a very sleepy, very soft sounding voice. And I'm actually gonna I'm not gonna lie, for like the first, let's see, when they were first announced and everything, of course at the time I was living in America, and there weren't really many opportunities to like at that time since they're so new. There weren't many videos out there with the new members in it.
Yeah.
On YouTube. So I relied on Cheers, the Idol cheering app. I relied on the Cheers voice notes to like kind of actually figure out how she sounds.
Yeah.
And I just remember like it wasn't until that I actually came here and met her that I realized that voice that she has is actually real. Because the whole time, like at first she always did the and a lot of idols will. I'm not sure if a lot of idols do this. All I know is Sana did this a lot. And Cheers in the voice notes, a lot of them will do like with the hashtag like whisper voice. So for the longest time, she only did whisper voices. And I remember the first time when she did a voice note that was not labeled whisper voice, I was like, this is my chance. I'm finally gonna figure out what she sounds like. And it was exactly the same. I was like, what is this? So yeah, when I actually met her and everything, I realized that was her actual voice. So that's what she likes. She honestly, like, as for like an idol, I'd say she has mostly a cute image, but she's also really freaking cool. Like they're like in their dances and everything, and just like I've like seen her interact with other members and everything. She honestly has like a really really cool vibe to her as well. It's partly why I respect her so much. It's like she's kind of versatile in a way.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she is actually originally from Osaka. She came here to Nagoya when she joined Hachimitsu.
So can you just tell me a little bit more about Sana's interests and hobbies?
So Sana, as far as everything that she's talked about in her mail and everything, and just what we've talked about at Buppon or at at sales and everything, Afterlives. She's really she really likes books. That's pretty cool because I'm a literature major, English literature major, so I've talked to her a little bit about like Japanese literature and everything because I've been able to take a couple of classes here on my exchange in Japanese literature, so I've been able to kind of like keep up with her a little bit. She really likes hamsters. I love hamsters too, so kind of connect with her with that. She owns a pet hamster named Hamu-chan, and she always sends pictures of them in Nama mails or in their little email system. It's really really cute. As far as what at one of the photo shoots I did with her and everything, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to like ask her why it was that she became an idol and everything.
Yeah.
And she told me that she was really into like Morning Musume and Momoclo and everything. So she's actually like she is an idol fan as well. So that's really cool.
Does she have a favorite idol? So you said Morning Musume and Momoclo. Do you know her Oshimen?
So I never really followed Momoclo or Morning Musume, so I don't even know, even if she told me.
Yeah.
So I didn't even bother asking. But yeah, it was really cool when I asked her why it was she became an idol and everything. And it was before she joined Hachimitsu. She was, she didn't tell me exactly what it was, but she was actually hospitalized for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she really liked idols and everything. And when she got out and everything, she wanted to give it a try. So Hachimitsu was her first group that she went in. So she's been an idol, I guess, since July.
Okay, so that's a little more than half a year? About half a year?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you first meet Sana? How did you first hear about Sana?
So, let's see here. It goes all the way back before Sana as far as how I learned about Hachipeta and everything. So, before I was going on exchange, before I was told that I got accepted to go to Nagoya for exchange, I'd planned on going to Tokyo for exchange. And of course, I'd been to Tokyo a couple times before that, so most of the idols that I followed were all Tokyo-based. So when I found out that I'd be going to Nagoya and everything, I was a little disappointed because I didn't know anything about like the idol, like anything about Nagoya idols or anything about Tokai idols at all.
Yeah. Tokai is the region that Nagoya is in.
Tokai, yes. Tokai is the region that Nagoya resides in. And so I figured, well, instead of being like, it's going on an exchange is like something that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do. So I was like, idols are everywhere. Yeah, that's just the thing.
In
There's
Japan.
so many idols out there. They're just everywhere. So I went on to Google and I kind of like started looking for idol groups that were in Nagoya and everything. A lot of like the Nagoya Clears came up, Osu came up, SKE of course came up.
Team Shachihoko.
Of course, Team Shachihoko. But I was mainly interested in Chika idols or underground idols, so the less mainstream groups and everything. So I went into Google and I typed in Chika idols, Nagoya, stuff like that. And Hachipeta was one of the first ones that came up. I just looked at them, and I loved the one thing that grabbed my attention the most was their costumes and everything, the bee costumes. I thought it was really, really cool. The design was really cool. So I went and I looked at all the videos that they had, and at that time and a little time before that, Hachipeta, it was a fairly popular group, I would say, actually. So there were tons and tons of videos up on YouTube of their performances and everything. I looked at a lot of their performances and everything. And I saw a lot of the performances were at like Eon malls, like different malls or different like outdoor stages and stuff like that. I thought that was perfect because I just recently started getting into photography and I wanted to take my camera out there and like take pictures at lives and everything. And with Japan, how they are with lives and everything, they don't allow photography or anything like that. So those types of lives, the ones that are outdoors or in public areas, are really, really good for people who want to do photography and photograph idols and everything because it's totally okay.
Yeah.
So they're one of the first groups that I kind of really focused on. And at that time, it was Miyu, Remy, Rinmen, Tomomi, and Runa. Yeah, that was it. And so it was definitely a different group of girls at that time versus how they are now. But
so this was back in, when did you say?
This is probably back in June-ish.
2017.
When I had 2017 when I started, when I actually came to know the group itself. And at that time and everything, I wasn't really sure who I would like the most. I thought Remy was really, really cool. Remy has a really cool aura to her.
She's really cool.
I know, yeah, you've met Remy multiple times, so you know how I'm talking about.
Actually, I've just met her once, but
fair enough. But I thought she was really, really cool, and I'm really into games and everything, so I saw a couple times that she would post game related stuff. So there was one time in particular she did these really, really cool Legend of Zelda themed nails. That was really, really cool. Yeah, it was really, really cool. They're really, really well done as well. But so I kind of just started, I wasn't sure who I would end up Oshing once, or who my favorite member would be once I actually came to Japan. But for the time being, I kind of just kept up with Remy and everything. And it wasn't until July when a little before July, both Miyu and Tomomi graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And beginning of July, I was actually out on a family vacation.
You remember it so vividly.
Yeah, I do. I remember that day vividly. We went to Kings Island. It's like a theme park and everything. Really, really cool. Anyways, on the drive there, the main Hachimitsu management Twitter, they tweeted a picture of their 2 new members. And it was 2 girls, one of them being Sana, and the other one was Hillary. And I actually went to a group chat and everything. That was with my friends and everything. And we all referred to them as the direction in which they were standing in the picture.
Yeah, no one knew their names.
No one knew their names. I didn't really even know their names yet because they had just been announced. And I was like, hey guys, which is the cutest? And there was Sana that was on the left, and Hidari was on the right. And we just referred to them for a couple weeks, or at least they referred to them for like ever as left B and right B. And I really like I don't mean to be like love at first sight and shit like that, because it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was when I first saw Sana and everything, I thought she was really, really cute. And she kind of has they're like certain like appearance points that I tend to like in idols, and she had like all of them. She has like a little bit of a round face. She has like really pretty long brown hair and really big eyes. Really, really cute. So I kind of from that day I don't know why, I just knew that I would end up Oshiing her, or I just end up liking her the most out of all the members.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally followed her, and since that day I replied to stuff, I liked stuff, I liked her tweets, I replied to her tweets, and yeah, it just from there I just kind of like knew. As weird as that sounds, I just knew.
So why would you say you like her more than any other idol?
It was, I wouldn't say that I liked her more than any idol at that time. It wasn't until I really like met her, and that like a couple lives after, that I realized that she was my favorite idol that I had ever followed. Just because like we just connected really well from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with like a lot of idols that you've met tons of idols yourself.
Yeah.
And there are like some idols that that you kind of feel like you click with, some that you don't. Whether neither of us are fluent speakers or anything, so
yeah,
it of course can get like sometimes in conversation it can get a little bit rough at times, and that just gets better over time and just knowing the person you're talking to.
And I mean, we're both not fluent speakers, so that makes it harder. But like even if you are, I mean, idols are people. There's idols you're gonna click with. There's idols that it's going to be really awkward to talk to. Like,
yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's just how it is with people. That's how you make friends and how you make enemies, and just personality wise and everything. And so just I just felt like I really clicked with her and everything. We had, once again, like similar interests and everything, so that helped a lot, of course. And I don't know, just she has a really cool like stage presence and everything. She, of course, at the time I didn't know it, but a little bit later on, and of course right now, you can tell that she really, really enjoys being like an idol, and she really, really treasures like all of her fans and everything. So I really respect her for that. She's really good. She's a really good dancer, actually. Despite only being an idol for like for that little amount of time that she's been.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. She's a pretty good dancer. She's a pretty good singer. She just overall she puts in a lot of effort, and that's like one of the number one things that I like the most in idols, and just like anything related to idols is just the effort that they stick in for whatever goal that they want to achieve and everything, whether it be, you know, just being able to dance or to maybe one day become something bigger than an idol.
Yeah.
So I just saw that, and I just really respect that the most out of her and everything.
So, you've met Sana a bunch of times.
Yep.
So, what was it like first meeting her?
First meeting her. Wow, that's going back. So it was, remember, I had moved. When I moved to Japan, I stayed in Tokyo for like 2 weeks. So I came to Nagoya, and of course I had to move into my new apartment, and I had to kind of get situated and get like full hang of everything. So I moved in almost mid-August, and it was about mid-September the first time I met her, and the live was at a place in Osu, which is one of the main like shopping districts. Kind of like it's the main shopping district here in Nagoya. They have a lot of like it's a little lesser of Akihabara, but they have a lot of things Akihabara has tons of maid cafes, lots of arcades, lots of like anime type shops, electronic shops, everything like that.
Okay.
And of course, Osu also has the Osukenon, which is like a giant shrine and everything. It's like one of the famous ones that people go to here in Nagoya. And the first live house that I went to, where I met Sana, it was a very interesting building. It's 3 stories, and it's located right directly behind the shrine. It's such a bizarre place, but it's my favorite venue here because it's spacious and there's lots of room. And it just overall just has like a lot of good memories with it. So the first time that the live, of course, I went to the live, I had already told Sana on Twitter that I was coming, so it wasn't like much of a super big surprise that all of a sudden this white guy shows up.
And at this point, you'd been like talking to her on Twitter quite a bit, so she definitely knew who you were.
Yeah. So, you know, at Boopon and everything, she already knew when I went to go get Chucky and and just meet her and everything, she already knew who I was. So that was really nice. And we just talked about, you know, what I wanted to do here, and just some of like the minor things that she didn't already know. She already knew that I was from America, that I was coming on exchange and stuff like that. And it was overall just a really, really good, really good first meeting I've ever had with an idol. What pose did we do? She was wearing this really, really cute, like, ribbon / headband on her head. It was blue, and she had her hair curled, so it was like really long and curly. And I just remember, the first time I met her and everything, I was like, she is such a little shorty. She was so short. It was so cute. We met and everything, and we did, you know how it is with idols when you first meet them. You have to kind of feel out, like, what's okay and what's not okay as far as, like, poses go. So I just kind of got, like, I got one of my favorite, like, punch poses, so it's kind of like the punch. And that was just really, really cute, really, really cute. In the picture, she just has this big smile on her face. She just has her, like, little fist out. It's really cute. Anyways, so the live was great. I typically, on my first time going to a certain like idol that I haven't seen yet, I kind of hang a little I'll hang a little bit back, because like, of course, everybody who's already there have been there for, like, you know, a decent amount of time, so they know all the calls, they know the songs, they know all that. And so I kind of just, the first live, I kind of just hung back. And it wasn't until the second live that the other guys kind of found out that I was that Sana was my favorite member, and this one guy named Yuya, he kind of just got me to come up to the front and everything. And that was really, really nice. All the guys kind of included me just by the second live that I've been to. They included me to everything.
Yeah, that's really
and
nice.
At the end and everything. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And you know how it is with people at lives and everything, and just the whole social construct here in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
People won't really come up and talk to you and everything. And I noticed Yuya because he had first of all, Yuya, he's what I've seen as pretty much the head honcho of everything. He does all the calls. He leads all the calls. He's a Remy Oshi. His favorite member is Remy.
Mm-hmm.
He did all the calls and everything, so he's pretty easy to pick out after the live. So I kind of just went up to him and everything. I introduced myself, and I just kind of thanked him for kind of including me and everything. And then as I was talking to him, some of the other people standing by kind of realized that I could speak Japanese just a decent amount. So they kind of asked me the normal stuff, where I'm from and how I came to find out about Hachipeta and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, from there on, I've gotten to know these guys a lot more, and it's nice having them. They pretty much consider me a normal there, so that's really, really nice, because I'm when it comes to going to lives and everything, I'm a little reserved when it comes to certain, especially when I'm going to groups that I don't really know completely.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm already a foreigner there. I don't want to stick out anymore.
And because you're in Nagoya and not Tokyo, it's probably even more rare that you see foreigners at things.
Yeah, I've only seen one foreigner among all the lives I've been to, among all the groups I've seen here in Nagoya. I've only seen one foreigner.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes.
in Tokyo, it's a lot more common. So the fact that you've only seen one just shows, he really sticks out.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, I don't know if it's just from me just being here for 6 months, I've kind of just adjusted to everything, but whenever I go to, even groups that I haven't seen before, I don't really notice anybody really staring or looking, and I don't really feel like I'm an outsider or anything there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just comes from just being here for a little bit. You kind of just forget who you are. So yeah, that first live was fantastic. I also, just for the hell of it, I also met one of the other members, Hirari.
Right B.
Right B, that's right.
Back to that picture.
Migi So also checking her with her and everything, because a couple of my friends really like her. I just wanted to meet her too. And see, I've met them all at this point in time. I met them all. And I even checked with Remy, once or twice. And then when my sister came to visit, she really liked Remy, so that was cool too. But yeah, it was.
Didn't you bring your mom too?
I brought my mom as well. And she met Sana. She got to check with Sana as well.
What did your mom think of her?
My mom loves her.
Really?
Yeah, she actually really does. Yeah. I also got my sister to check in with Sana. It was kind of more of a, I'm your brother. This is my Oshi. You have to go check in with her. I didn't give her a choice. Actually, I paid for her checking. But she ended up liking Remy the most, and I expected that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's been, let's see, about 5 months since the first time you met Sana, and since then you've been going about how many days a month or a week, would you say?
So I'd say about at least when I first started school, I went typically once to twice a week, typically on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I kind of got comfortable with school and kind of got the hang of everything, I started going I typically go on the weekends, and then depending on the price of the live, because a lot of their lives vary from anywhere from 1,000 yen to 2,000 yen.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the ones I like to go to are like the 1,000 yen ones, just
Yeah.
because it gives you more money to get Chuckys with. And they have them quite often. So there would be, depending on what lives were there, it would be anywhere from 2 to 3 a week. And right now, since she's graduating next week, next Monday, I've kind of been going to like every single live. So I'm not going to count this week and last week into the whole like formula of how many I go to a week. But yeah, it's been typically anywhere from 1 to 3 a week.
Okay, so we'll talk more about her graduation later. But first, you talked about what it was like meeting Sana. But what would you say your favorite memories overall are with Sana?
Oh man, that is such a hard one. That is such a hard one. So I've been to 2 of her photo shoots, and they're private and everything, so I've always had really, really good time with that.
Can you describe that a little more, just because it sounds kind of shady if you don't know what they're about?
Yeah. So the group will have there is a studio out towards Gifu. It's a very nice studio. It's a very nice studio. A lot of people use it for cosplay stuff. It has like 7 different sets. There's like a bar set, there's a classroom set, there's a stage, there's this one that shoots out water.
Really?
There's like a tatami room. There's so many different rooms. Oh, there's also like this one that has like all these boulders and like oil cans. It looks kind of like a post-apocalyptic like city. It's really, really cool. So what they do is as of recently, they do photo shoots on like certain occasions. So I went to the Christmas shoot, I went to the Halloween shoot, and I'll be going to the Valentine's Day shoot soon. And typically what they do there is they have all the group members of Hachiba and also their sister group, Nakipachi. And you sign up for certain slots, and they have, the studio it's very much a big kind of warehouse-ish type setup. So all of the sets are exposed to each other. So of course, even though it is one-on-one photo shooting, there's still other people there. There's still their management there to manage everything.
Yeah, so they can make sure nothing weird goes on.
Of course, yeah, of course. They would never put their girls in harm and everything.
Yeah.
So it was, when you go to like Chucky sales and Buppon.
By the way, just to clarify, so Chuckys are just Polaroid pictures.
Yeah, Polaroid pictures, and some of them are signed. Some of it depends on the management, of course.
And it costs about $5 to $10, 500 to 1,000 yen.
Mm-hmm. The way the Hachimitsu does Chuckys is they offer, for 500 yen, they offer what they call a pin Chucky. So it's just a Chucky with just the member in it. Then they have the 2-shot Chucky, which is you and the member. So the 1-shot pin Chucky is 500 yen, or about $5 USD. And then the 2-shot is 1,000 yen, which is about $10, give or take, USD. And you get a minute of talk time and a sign. So the photo shoot and everything, it's a very nice opportunity to talk to whichever member it is that you like the most, without being interrupted or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So they do it in 20-minute slots. And within that 20 minutes, you can choose to take pictures. And if you really don't really care to take pictures, then you can just seriously stand around and talk to them for 20 minutes or whatever. They're really, really lenient about the gear that you use. So, like, I know some Satsueikai around here will want you to have a decent camera at least. Like, just a decent one.
Yeah, there are some that make it so that you actually can't go unless you have a proper camera. They won't let you go if you have, like, a cell phone.
Yeah. But that's one of the things that Hachimitsu, the management's okay with, is you can use a cell phone. They don't really care. So I've seen a lot of people that they'll go with just their cell phone. It's a really good time to talk to, your Oshi and everything. Since I enjoy photography a lot and I enjoy taking pictures of Sana, I typically do half and half. I don't really keep track of it. It's kind of just like I take pictures here and there, and I typically talk while I'm doing it too. I've gotten to the point that I can actually kind of shoot and talk at the same time. And also, it kind of brings out certain emotions in the pictures when you talk. It makes it more natural, not less just like posing and stuff like that for a picture and everything. So I've gotten some really nice shots from just that alone. We've talked about like a lot of fun stuff and everything, and it's really nice because you don't feel that urgency. You don't feel rushed, especially for someone who doesn't speak English fluently. That really helps like your language skills. You don't feel rushed. You can just take it easy and just enjoy the natural direction that conversation will take you in it. So the photo shoots I really have really good memories about. I always find them really fun. But their management does a lot of also kind of like off-kai or like kind of fan meetups that are outside of lives.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the Christmas one. They had a Christmas party. That was probably one of the fondest memories I have with Sana, because we were able to do is of course, the invitation was only invite by management. So I guess they saw that I go to so many lives and everything. They directly invited me to come to the party. The only other way to get it was to win an invite through they call a kuji, or like it's a little lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd pay 1,000 yen and you would reach into a box and pull out a slip of paper, and that paper will have a number on it, and that number will match up to whichever prize it is. So that was one of the grand prizes of it, was the Christmas party.
I'm curious, do you know how many of the people were specially invited, and how many got it through the Kuji?
I have no idea. It was one of the like the main prizes, so I imagine that it was a fairly rare one.
Yeah.
Versus like Shame or a Chucky or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of my friends, he got a kick. So he got Rinrin to kick him, and of course the management recorded it on his phone and everything. It was fantastic. I was really jealous because I think it'd be really fun for something like that. So management invited me, sent me an invite over Twitter DM about whether I'd want to attend and everything. I told them, of course, I'd want to attend.
Mm-hmm.
And they already knew I was a Sana Oshi. So Sana, all the members made their specific fan, a food. And I knew Sana asked me what I wanted and everything. And I knew that probably one of the things that's kind of a novelty here in Japan is onigiri. So like someone that you like or a friend or something like that will hand make these for you and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Sana that I wanted onigiri. I told her exactly what kind of ingredient I wanted. I like tuna. Tuna's one of my favorite onigiris. That and salmon.
Salmon.
So she made me a salmon and a tuna one. And we all sat down and everything at the table, sat down with a couple of my other friends. And then the girls went around to their friends and they gave them their food that they made them. And Sana, she came down, she sat next to me, and she gave me the onigiri and everything. She's like, "Oh, I hope it's good," and stuff like that, and I hope you really enjoyed it. I made it especially for you.
That's so cute.
I was already on I was gonna die of cuteness overload. So I opened them up. I made sure not to eat anything that day before the Christmas party, because I wanted to make sure that I was not full. And of course, like manager is a very nice guy. And what he also made some other sides. And it was actually kind of very Americanized type sides. So they had like fried chicken. He had mashed potatoes. What else did they have? and then like some kind of pudding-ish type thing. It was very bitter tasting. Of course, Sana came by with honey, and she's like, "Do you want honey?" And she's like, "Just tell me when to stop."
Of course, they had honey.
I'm just like, okay, stop. So that helped with the whole bitterness of that. Anyway, Sana gave me the onigiri and everything, and she just sat down and she just talked to me for a while as I was eating it. That was probably one of my favorite memories I've had with her, because it was just a very nice moment that I've had with her. So yeah, there was another moment as of recently. Of course, there will probably be more moments that come up in these days come by. It was at the Della Rock Festival that recently happened. I was at Heartland, which is the live house, and I was at Bupan getting Chuckys with Sana, and we were just talking and everything, and all of a sudden the light, like all the power gets shuts off, like it just shuts off, and the first instinct I'm thinking is like, okay, it's completely dark, nobody knows what's going on, I need to make a little bit of distance so that she does, just everything is all right. And then she's all like, "Lucas, kawaii, kawaii," and then she grabs onto my arm. Of course, with it being dark and everything, and there were only 3 other Hachimitsu members there. It is kind of one of those things that she could kind of do and get away with.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just like, that was another moment that was just like a very cute, very nice moment that even though like completely all the power shut off and everything, and like I know there are some creeps out there that would take advantage of a moment like that.
Yeah.
She kind of closed the distance that I kind of put there to make everything okay. Mm-hmm. So that was just a very nice kind of like a moment of trust that was really, really nice. It made me feel good. So yeah, just between that party, the Christmas party, the photo shoots, that recent happening, and also one of the there was a recent event that they did before Alive at the same building, same venue that I first met Sana at, and they called it was I remember the exact Japanese terms for it, but it was essentially a fan. A kind of, they threw a little party for their fans that was just to kind of thank them for everything, for sticking through with them while like all of the changes have been happening within management, within members and everything. Mm-hmm. And that was just a really, really nice time. It was only pretty much everybody who showed up was the main fans and everything. I didn't really see many of the other people that I just see on a casual occasion. It's mostly the people that I see on a normal basis. It was really, really fun. They did a bunch of really stupid, really, really funny, like, type little skits. And there was this one that they did a challenge with all the members. So it was Hana and Miko. It was
so
Remy.
They're actually not Hachimitsu members.
Miko is now a Hachimitsu member. Hana is a Nakipachi member.
Yeah, okay.
But a lot of these events, since Nakipachi and Hachipeta are under the same management and their sister groups, they'll often be at the same stuff. So they're often at the photo shoots and they're at these other little events. So they kind of just combine them all. And they had this challenge they did where one of the members would get inside an oversized coat, and then another member will sit in front of them on a table with like a plate of cake. And the person that was under the coat would not be able to see. They were unable to see exactly like where they're like putting their hands. But the whole point was to stop the member in front of them was to eat whatever was in front of them the quickest. Sana was hilarious. Sana was so funny. She was just like it was her and Mayu. And she was just like, she's like trying to like find Mayu's mouth and everything. So she was like very slowly, very like gently trying to like lodging her fingers in her mouth. Just like searching out for the cake and everything. And just kept on stuffing it. I thought Mayu was gonna die. I was like, Sana, you're gonna kill this girl. Remy was just about like Remy. I thought was on the verge of death. At the end, she was like, "Oh, Ocha."
That sounds like a really fun event.
Yeah, they allowed videos, so I took a video of it and everything. It's just like I'll always love to watch that video whenever I have to leave and everything. But one of the best parts about that fan appreciation party that they had was the girls come out with 3 big size boxes full of these little goodie bags that had a piece of candy in it, and then also a Chucky, a pin Chucky, so Chucky of the members. And they just made it rain. They literally just started throwing them.
That's so great.
There must have been at least 100 of those things. And they just threw it out to us. There was, maybe about 20 of us there. And we all just kind of just went crazy. We were just picking these things up off the floor. I was just thinking, I was like, I hope I get a Sana Chucky. Like, I hope that'd be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, I was a little like, I got 3 and I kind of just hung back. I didn't want to seem like greedy or anything.
Yeah.
So I got 3. I just left everything else for everybody. And lo and behold, the 3 Chuckies I got 1 Hana Chucky, and then the other 2 were Sana Chuckies. So there's currently at that time there were 6 people. So that's pretty awesome that with that ratio of people that I actually got Sana Chuckies all the time. And they're really good Chuckies too. So I was really happy about that. That was a really fun time. But yeah, overall, just my best time was probably that Christmas party.
Yeah. So, Sana announced graduation when?
It was back, let's see here. It was last week. Don't remember the exact date, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't expect it at all, did you?
Not at all. I was talking to my friend literally that day. I was like, Sana, all these members are graduating, and all these new members are coming in. And I was just like, I saw, I literally said to him, I was like, I'm glad that Sana seems to be like a fairly safe bet as far as like graduation goes. Like I was like, she really, really enjoys being in the idol. She really enjoys her friends and everything. I don't really see her graduating anytime soon. Actually, I assumed that I'd be the one having to say goodbye in August when I had to go back to America. But yeah, I was eating dinner, and I was in the chat that we had for Sana's birthday event, which is also a very good memories I have. It still doesn't beat the Christmas party. So they had.
Maybe you shouldn't tell her that.
Yeah. Very true. I mean, it was a fantastic event, but like as far as things that happened and everything, the Christmas party was the best. Anyway, so we kept that chat open for whichever events might come in the future, and all of a sudden I get a notification from this chat that's been kind of dead since then, that it's changed to a graduation planning party or planning group online. I was like, first of all, my heart sunk, because I mean, this is either some sick joke or they're just planning way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But no, then this guy comes in, like one of the other guys comes in the chat and everything. He's like, we've changed this to graduation planning event. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. And I'm just like, and that was on the same day that they went to Gifu, and I had planned on going to that live, but didn't really seem like much is happening there, and it's already almost a $12 ride back to and from Gifu. So I just didn't really think it was important that I go to that live, so I didn't go. And this other person comes into the chat and kind of just tells everybody that, hey, she announced graduation today. So nobody really told any of the reasons, and there are a lot of other members and a lot of other fans that are in the chat that didn't go to the Gifu live.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of it was just like it was just like the most sickening feeling I ever had in my stomach. Like I just got like punched like in the stomach, and just like and the person just disappeared. Like I can't do anything. I don't understand. Like why did you just punch me in the stomach? So I didn't know the reason at that time why she was graduating. It's just that she all of a sudden graduated, and it completely took me by surprise.
Or not all of a sudden announced graduation. She hasn't graduated yet.
Well, she announced. It was at that time. It was a very sudden graduation, or like not a graduation announcement. Like she suddenly just announced. Like
she's graduating next week.
Yeah, next Monday.
So what day is that? The 12th of February.
The 12th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like typically what I've noticed in the past is whenever there's gonna be a graduation. Typically, management will put a tweet out saying, "Hey, at this live tonight, there will be an important announcement made."
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the case for that day, or else I would have definitely went. But yeah, I was complete and utter disbelief, and I'm kind of in that situation right now. Like I still like can't really believe that it's actually going to happen, but it is going to happen.
So yeah. So she's graduating next week, and you've been going to all of her lives.
All of her lives, except for the Osaka ones. She's currently in Osaka today.
Mm. And that's pretty far from Nagoya, so... Or it's not that far, but you have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, and like I want to make sure that I don't get sick again, and I have to miss everything else, so... I'm not taking any more overnight buses if I can't avoid it.
So, is there anything you want to tell her before her graduation, or anything you want to ask her? Anything you still want to talk about?
Well, it's been, a decent amount of days have passed, and a decent amount of lives have passed since she did announce everything. And I went to the live the day after she announced and everything, and I just went to Boop on everything, and she was just so concerned, like how I received the information, and everything, like how I felt about it, and I, of course I felt like really, really sad, and like, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm gonna continue, living here in Japan for still half a year without going and being able to see her like every week and everything. Mm-hmm. She's kind of become like she's a big part in how I adjusted to life here. Like it's a different Japan is a very different place to America, and even though I've been here multiple times, you don't know like all the other stuff that you actually have to deal with when you're living here.
Yeah, and it's your first time in Nagoya too, right?
Yeah, in Nagoya, yeah. Well, I mean, I've been to Nagoya for like a day.
Okay.
Like, that's it. But yeah, it's totally the same thing. Like, I don't know places around Nagoya. I never need places around Nagoya. But being able to, like, especially going to a new school, that's a big thing. It's going to a new school and having to make new friends and having, like, the language barrier and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's... When I was being able to like go see Sana and everything, it kind of made the that first couple of months that's typically kind of lonely. It totally didn't feel that way at all. Like, I met tons of people going to see. Like, it wasn't just seeing Sana. It was, I made friends just by going there and kind of with the other guys and everything, kind of just having fun with them. It's been great, and just so I completely leave all like the fact I was able to transition so smoothly here was partly due to partly due to Sana and everything, being able to go see her and kind of adjusting everything.
So first off, why is she graduating? So she did give an explanation, right?
Yeah, she did. It was announced about a couple hours later after I found out online that she would be. It was due to like family. They didn't tell us exactly the reasons. They said it was out of family affairs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was out of probably an illness, and I don't know where her family lives. I assume that it's in Osaka, where she's where she said that she came from when she moved here.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that she'll be going back to Osaka. But yeah, that's the reason they give us that she gave us and everything is family affairs, and it's I mean, obviously like I'm not upset or anything about that. That's a very important thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it came so sudden, and that just overall her attitude about being an idol, I truly do believe that's like the reason, and I believe that's like a very good reason for her to do what she's decided on doing. But at the same time, it kind of doesn't. It leaves a lot of things open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's going to end up going and doing an idol activities in Osaka, or she's just going to completely stop it, or she's going to start them back again after a while.
So what do you hope she'll do, and what do you predict she'll do in the future?
What I hope she'll do, and what I really hope, honestly, my hope is nothing really too big. I hope that she'll simply start up a personal Twitter page. Like, honestly, if I just had some way to just find out like how she's doing and like, stuff that I can like and reply to and everything. I don't even care if it's like I get replies back or anything. I just, just having some kind of sauna in my life would be nice. But that's my hope, is that she'll at least start a personal Twitter page. From what I've seen with the other Hachipera members that have graduated, I've never seen any of their pages, and that might just because I'm not in the inner circle with the older members. So they might not sure. What I predict though is, honestly, I don't know. It's completely a shot in the dark. I have no idea. I'm just kind of doing everything I can to send her off in the best way with, and also to enjoy the last, days that I have with her and everything. I think that's all you really can do.
So, if anyone is interested in learning more about Sana or learning more about Hachipera, and maybe they can't go to Japan, what would you say they should do?
So I guess I was in that situation at one point. I was trying to follow Hachipera while I was still in America.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's certain things you just can't emulate there in America. You can't, go to their lives. But with all the live, they have tons of older material. And all the old material still has Remy. So if you do, if anyone does take a liking to Hachipera and Remy happens to be there, well, you have tons and tons and tons of Remy.
So the current members besides Sana are, so it's Sana, but she's graduating, and then Remy, and what are the other members?
So there is Miko, which is recently was promoted from Nakipachi to Hachipera. Then there's Nene, who was a Kenkyusei for a while. She's currently there. And so and then it's Mayu, Koeda Mayu.
Okay, so there's 5 members currently? Did I count right?
Currently there's 5 members, and there will be 4 after Sana graduates.
Okay. So you were talking about seeing their live videos and how you can go back and Remy will still be there.
Yep. So there's all their old videos, which has all their songs that they currently perform. They performed back then too. So there are actually lots of songs that you can actually listen to if you go to their older videos, and it's on the Hachipera channel, which I'm sure Britta will somehow put out there. Also, if you are a Remy Oshi and you get into them in your Remy Oshi, Remy also has a YouTube channel that she does. She does mostly mostly makeup videos, but she does also she's done in the past a lot of other videos where she kind of included some of the other members in it, so it's kind of cool too. I heard her talking about her YouTube channel last night. She's talking about how she's kind of busy with everything, but she does plan on continuing to upload stuff. So
I'll link to a bunch of stuff in the description. So Hachipera's YouTube channel, Remy's YouTube channel, the Twitter. So check that out.
Yeah, and of course there are tons and tons of videos and footage of them a little bit, like a year back or so. But also there are a decent amount of recently recorded lives out at whatever outdoor performance place there was. There's one at one of there's this Gifu festival that was dedicated to like honey and stuff like that and agriculture. So they performed there, and they have a recording of that on YouTube. There's the really, really cool video because it's taken in the dark. It's at the Toyota. It's like a Toyota music stage area, amphitheater type place. So they have performances there, and they also have just some other miscellaneous performances that feature Sana and let's see here, Hirari. They also have some with Nene. So they have all the new members. I don't think there are any with Miko in there yet, but there might be by the time you check, depending on when you're listening to this.
So you also said they're on Cheers, right?
Yeah, they're also on Cheers. Yep. There's Remy. Yep, they're all on Cheers, I believe.
So if you have the app,
yep, definitely. Yeah, the app, definitely. Also, they on. Let's see. I don't remember the exact date, but I don't think it's ever on I don't think it's on a constant. It might be on a constant schedule. But the best way to check is the main Twitter, or Boom Boom Night. It's a Gifu radio station that you can listen to online, and it's not region locked, so anyone can listen to it. And they will have one. They have one coming up on the 9th at, I think, don't quote me on the exact time, but it's on the 9th, I think, at 11:30. It comes on late, so that's typically daytime, I guess, in America or in other countries, wherever it may be. And it was really fun. They you can actually DM, you can direct message the Boom Boom Night Twitter, which is the radio station they have. And they will often take like question requests, so that's a very good way for you to kind of get your question out there. If you're overseas, you can direct message them your question, and then they will answer the question on the radio station. Also, they play on the radio station. They play various Hachipeta songs, and overall, they just all the members talk and like answer questions. Just overall, just talk about things. It's really fun to listen to.
So, how long's the radio show?
It's about 30 minutes, I suppose.
Okay, so any other ways that? So you said YouTube, Cheers, the radio,
Twitter, of course.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, if you have a specific member that you do like, as I mentioned before, they have the email service. It's called Namamail, Namamail. We'll link that also.
Yeah.
But all the members are subscribed to that, and you can subscribe to them for about 500 yen a month, about $5. And you get, each day they send these emails, and they send lots of, photos that you don't get on Twitter and everything. Definitely think it's worth it. If you, especially if you're overseas and you want to be able to communicate a little bit more than on Twitter, they do read them, and of course, they can't reply to them, but they do read them. Definitely encourage that. You get a lot of information that a lot of people that you wouldn't find out on Twitter. A lot of really cute, fun videos and pictures sent through them as well.
Okay, so just to wrap this up, any last things you want to say about Sana or Hachipera?
Just overall, Hachipera is, and just all of Honeycomb Promotion, the management. Right now they are going through a fairly rough time as far as like management decisions and member formations and everything. But overall, like these guys, like the management staff, Senmu-san, everybody is just, they're really, really great people. They treat the girls fantastic. The girls are very happy. Overall, I've never felt cheated out of like my money or anything. They always have provided lots of different things at a very affordable price. So I always felt like the Honeycomb is like probably one of my top favorite like management side type stuff. I think they handle, despite everything that's happened, everything, it's kind of out of their reach, kind of out of their can't really do much about whenever a member has to graduate for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they're just fantastic. So definitely, if you have an interest in Hachipeta or anyone, or Nakipachi or anybody in Honeycomb, definitely just check out those things. And if you ever do plan on visiting Nagoya or Gifu or Osaka while they're doing a performance, definitely come.
And they go to Tokyo.
Definitely, they go to Tokyo, and they go to Tokyo, and if you go to Tokyo, definitely try to get them. They don't go to Tokyo very often, but so it's kind of a shot in the dark. But if you come here to Nagoya, they perform pretty much most days, at least every other day, and then all weekend. So there are lots of chances to see them live. And overall, all the fans, very, very nice people. They very inclusive. They bring everybody in. Just very nice, great people. So don't be afraid to kind of get in there. You'll be well received and everything. And just overall, I just think it's a very good group, and I'm glad that I've been able to share all these times with everybody there, with Sana, with everybody. It's been fantastic. And I definitely won't forget any of it when I go home.
Okay, great. So thanks for being on my show, Lucas.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad I could help.
Okay, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. まっすぐに咲く花をずっと見